Hello, my name's Chris Times, and I just wanted to share some things with you. Um, I'm a mental health provider, a counselor, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a couple of things in relation to how do you improve your mental health? How do you cope with things that are going on with you? Um, Today, I'd like to focus just for a few minutes on how do you use cognitive behavioral therapy, right, or CBT, to work with and challenge some things that you have going on in your mind. And let me explain it like this. Sometimes we have a situation to where we think something's true, either about ourselves or about someone else, right? And what happens is we start believing that this has to be 100% true. I'll give you an example. Say if I'm suffering from depression, right? I'm not eating very well. I'm actually having some issues with sleep. I'm not sleeping. I used to sleep 8 hours a day, and now I'm sleeping two hours a day, right? Well, those are some symptoms that, hey, maybe you should take a look at, depression. Now, what do you do with that? How do you handle what's happening with depression and with lots of other disorders? What happens is that you have some type of thinking, right, that needs to be challenged. Needs to be challenged. So what happens? Say if I wake up and for some reason my mind tells me that nobody loves me. That's a tough one. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. I might as well give up, right? Well, those types of feelings of apathy accompany worthlessness and helplessness should be challenged right away. Don't let it fester. So what you do is you say to yourself, you ask yourself a series of questions, right? One of the questions you ask yourself is, how do I know? How do I know no one loves me? What proof do I have that no one loves me? Have I asked anybody, or have anybody told me that they didn't love me? Your friends, your family. Did you ask them point blank, do you love me? And if you did, what did they say? Or if you haven't asked, then what? So challenge those thoughts, right? And challenge them aggressively, so that you can look at those thoughts in a real light. Because what happens with depression and other symptomology is that you start believing in it, although you have no basis, none, no basis as to the truthfulness of the thought or thoughts. That's a difficult scenario, right? And so if you're having intrusive thoughts, right? And those are just thoughts that are coming inside of your brain that you don't control. Voices telling you stuff like, go do horrible things, either to yourself or to somebody else. Those types of thoughts are very, very difficult to control. But what you can do, if you're experiencing those, is the same thing. Challenge them. You challenge those types of thoughts with things that you know to be true, things that you know to be real, right? Things that you can hear, see, touch with your own senses, and ask about in earnest, hey, how do I know that no one likes me? How do I know that no one cares? Do I have any proof of it? And what is that proof? Lay it all out there and see what you discover. And what a lot of times you'll discover is what's going on in your mind, right, is a conflict. It's a conflict from what you know to be true. And once you challenge it and say, I don't know that my coworkers don't like me. Let me find out, right? Let me see how they are acting around me. Maybe they miss seeing you if they hadn't seen you in a while. Or maybe they miss talking to you on the phone. Maybe they miss seeing your face and they think that you're really good company and you think you're probably the worst company in the world. What happens with this types of depressive type of thinking is that you think that things are just the worst, right? And that could be farthest from the truth. So what happens is you end up believing in these things that are really falsehoods, they're lies. And you start buying into these types of things that are there's no basis for them whatsoever. And so you should challenge. So today, just look at this cognitive behavioral therapy. One type of thing is you challenge negative thought patterns that enter your mind, and you see what basis do you have for believing those thought processes, or what basis do you have for not believing those processes, okay? And you look at that in earnest and you examine it critically. You examine it critically. And so you do that so that you can make sure, right, that you don't fall for those negative thought patterns. And one last thing, when you're dealing with depression, and a good thing with that is make sure that you not only challenge negative thought patterns. The other thing is that you want to do some action, right? A big thing with major depression and other disorders, right? Not just major depression, but with other disorders, is you have this feeling of stuckness. You have the feeling of stuckness. And so that feeling of being stuck robs you. It robs you. And it robs you of emotion. It robs you of desire. It robs you of motivation, which is movement, positive movement. And so you want to break that pattern. This is the key here. You want to break the pattern that you have established for yourself, right? So get up and go skiing, or go do something fun. Take a Tai Chi class or Kung Fu or karate. Take jujitsu or go out and join the gym and go cycling. Join a spin class. Go out and join a yoga class at the gym. You don't want to do this stuff in isolation because you're not going to do it. So go out, pay your money, pay your $35 a month, and go to LA Fitness or wherever and join a spin class, join a swim class. You want to go and join something that's going to allow you to get out and go move physically, right? And so that's what you do. That's the important thing. The problem is in body, right? And so you want to work in body. You want to work in body in order to motivate and to move, right? And in so doing, get out or break those patterns that you've established for yourself. So that's what I have today. I hope this helped you. So again, we looked at the cognitive behavioral therapy, a very small part of it, excuse me, and just on how do you how do you treat this type of issue. Major depression is what we looked at. So that's a big thing. Hope all that helped you out. I hope that you guys are seeking a good counselor if you need one. And blessings.